Hi, I'm Dr. CJ Mertz of Full Potential Leadership. Thanks for joining me here today on True North. And my main objective is to help you grow your practice. So once again, if you're really feeling good about what you're learning here, make sure to share with a friend. I want thousands of chiropractors out there really feeling the confidence of growing their practices. And so I answer real-life questions, most of them coming from clients. And I want you to see the question that comes in from Dr. Paul of Minnesota. And he asks the question, and he says, I caught up with a college buddy who's working with you, and he's on fire with your wellness strategies. Can you guide me in the right direction? Because I'm really confused. And of course, what he's saying is, I'm confused about wellness. How do I bring that into my practice properly? He should be confused. If you asked 40 different chiropractors what wellness is, you'll probably get 40 different answers. And then outside of chiropractic, ask somebody in the nutrition business, in the exercise business, in the cosmetic business, in the you-know-what business, and everyone's got their own definition of wellness. You need to position yourself as a wellness expert in your town that people will come to you for the answers and solutions they need for their family. So there's 3 keys that I'm going to make sure that I give you today that our clients are using. I'm excited to hear him saying that his friend's on fire and his practice is going well. Why is it going well? Well, the first thing is that wellness in a chiropractic practice needs to be centered around replenishing nerve supply. That's the center of the bullseye, replenishing nerve supply. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. Because if you miss that, then you miss the most powerful uniqueness in your practice. See, if it's not about replenishing nerve supply, then what you're saying is chiropractic itself isn't the art, science, and philosophy of wellness. You're saying wellness is here and chiropractic's on the outside of it doing something else, rather than putting a wellness bullseye up or a wellness target and saying chiropractic is at the center of that. And it's at the center of the bullseye because it's about replenishing nerve supply. You see, we need to understand that power runs the body, right? The power that made the body heals the body, but we need to also understand probably the ultimate life paradox, and that is our bodies need the power in order to live, and yet life itself reduces the power. Just living, just breathing, just walking and talking, eating, just doing what we do every day interrupts the power in our body. And we understand that now. We need to share that with our patients. We need to say replenishing nerve supply is at the center of wellness because what makes our bodies well is the nerve messages that come to every cell, tissue, and organ in the body. We've gotten somehow caught up with that if I'm taking supplements right, or if I'm doing this particular yoga stretch right, somehow I'm going to be healthy without getting chiropractic adjustments. It just can't happen that way. So the center of your wellness program is replenishing nerve supply. Get even more bold in speaking that into your workshops, communicating with your patients that the new wellness model actually in the world has chiropractic adjustments releasing the power, not that you heal people, because you know you don't, that the power that you're releasing is what is restoring the body back to wellness. That's not a one-time thing, that's an ongoing thing. Ask somebody that eats really well, somebody that's made a life decision, like myself, I'm a vegetarian and have been for 30 years. If I stopped doing that and started eating another way, would all of the work that comes from being a vegetarian and being a vegetarian for months or years before, would that just somehow last me the rest of my life? Or if I started eating poorly again, would that start showing signs? And I know you already know the answer to that. So we need to see that replenishing nerve supply is a philosophy. It's a wellness paradigm, and it should be at the center of yours. I think the second thing is to understand that that bullseye I was just talking about has layers, and at the very center should be a person's thought IQ. Think about it in terms of the word IQ. When I say thought, I mean their belief IQ. What are you teaching patients that's literally changing their belief around how they take care of themselves and their families? Are you changing the belief IQ? And then after the belief IQ comes the innate IQ. And of course, you and I know that what we talk about that runs through the nerve system is innate intelligence. How completely convinced are they that it is innate intelligence that runs the whole body, and that by releasing that intelligence, there's more healing always available to them? And then around that is your energy IQ. Energy meaning your fuel. How are you eating? What are you drinking? Are you drinking enough water? Are you doing it regularly? And then around the energy IQ is the endurance IQ, which has more to do with fitness and conditioning and how well they're taking care of themselves in that way. So when you start looking at a true wellness map, if you will, at the center of it is beliefs. Around that is the power grid, right? The innate paradigm IQ, and then energy, and then endurance. If it's not that way, then chiropractic isn't in the middle of it. And you know what will happen? People wind up getting great chiropractic care. They'll feel better. And you know what? Then they'll go home and take their vitamins. And they're no longer seeing you because they're not sure why they would. And the final key is to look at pain relief versus wellness. Understand that when people, new patients, come into your practice, this is not a wrong thing. This is just something that needs to be corrected, is people come into our practices because they have a condition. Headaches, back pain, fatigue, numbness, indigestion, whatever it may be, and they're looking for an answer to solve that. That is not a bad thing. That's an awesome thing because that's what got them introduced to chiropractic. But what we need to realize is pain relief itself is an expense model, meaning somebody can really appreciate what you do for them, but as soon as that headache or back pain or fatigue is solved, their value for continuing care isn't there because really taking care of that issue was still in what's called the bucket of expense model. Wellness doesn't live in that expense model. Wellness lives in the investment model. So somewhere between them entering your practice and a few months later, because the sand is running out of the hourglass on this one, it's T-minus about 8 weeks that we move somebody from the expense model to the investment model. Now they choose to continue on with wellness because they see wellness being an ongoing habit, an ongoing part of their wellness philosophy for themselves, if not for their whole family. And now it's no longer an expense. They're expecting returns on that investment daily, weekly, monthly. In fact, it's their own insurance plan, knowing that I'm stronger, my immune system's stronger, I'm healthier as I continue to do this. Well, that's your workshops. That's how you educate people. And if you do that properly, you're moving them from the expense model to the investment model. That's where wellness lives. You can't simply tell somebody about wellness and they're still thinking the expense model and just think people are going to go from pain relief to wellness. It doesn't happen. They don't live in the same model. And hopefully that helps you today see why so many of our clients are doing so great in leading people and whole families to wellness. I look forward to training with you next time. Until then, practice with passion. Have an awesome day. God bless.